Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chad Talk Sports Episode 3. Today is November 3rd, 2021, and we got a good, kind of short episode for you guys today. We're going to start off with the college football rankings coming out for the first time. Go Ducks of the season. And then we move on to Henry Ruggs and his accident that happened the other day. And then we're going to end the show with the World Series, which for me is just about to start in the next half hour. So I do not know the outcome of Game 6, so we'll be reporting games 1 through 5. Alright, so college football rankings, week number 1, and we're only going to talk about mainly the top 6, because those are the core ones where if you win out, you're most likely in. 5 and 6 kind of need a couple losses, but still, if you win out, you're most likely in if you're in that top 6. So, starting off with, these are the official rankings, and then I'll go over my personal ones. So, starting off at number 6, we have 8-0 Cincinnati. I think that's a little low, but I can see where they were coming from in the fact that Cincinnati hasn't had a big win other than Notre Dame. And then we have one loss, Ohio State at number 5, who actually, their one loss was against the Oregon Ducks, who are sitting at number 4. Ohio State has probably played better than them just directly after that loss to Oregon. But you also have to remember that Oregon was missing the number 1 player in the nation, Kayvon Thibodeau, as he has only played one full game this season, and that was this last game against Colorado, where they just dominated, only one possession that they didn't score. And then at number 3, we had Michigan State. They were also undefeated. They just had a big win against Michigan. I personally think they're a little low, but I can also see where the committee was coming from, as we obviously knew Georgia was going to be number 1, and then we had Alabama fitting in at that number 2 spot, which I think is a little too high, especially considering that they lost to an unranked Mississippi State team a couple weeks ago. And now my personal rankings, obviously we have number 1 Georgia. That was just a given with anyone's, as the rest of the talk was just about after them. And then I have number 2 being Michigan State. Like I said, they had that good win coming off that good win against Michigan. And considering there's a couple other non-undefeated teams, there's only 6 or 7 undefeated teams left in the country. So them being an undefeated team, I feel like their first 2 should be teams that are without a loss. And then I have number 3 for me being Cincinnati. I think that there is another undefeated team that should be fitting in there, especially because they have that win against number 10 ranked Notre Dame. And then I also have the Oregon Ducks fitting in at that number 4 spot, and they have 2 top 25 team wins. People are kind of not really paying attention to the fact that we do have that win against Fresno State, where we just blew them out of the water, and they are ranked number 24 with those college football polls. And also, obviously, that win against Ohio State, where they were playing with a couple hurt players, and their only loss is against Stanford, which they didn't have Oregon didn't have their OC, and they had quite a few injuries, and I think one ejection for targeting in the previous game. So, and the game went into overtime, had a couple weird calls towards the end of the game, but yeah, I think they fit in at that number 4 spot. I'd say if they win that game against Stanford, probably putting them there at number 3, maybe even 2, especially with those wins against Fresno and Ohio State. And then at my number 5 spot, I have the Ohio State, as in the college football polls, they had a lot of teams that beat teams right in front of them, and I agree with that. I feel like if you beat a team and you're also ranked, I feel like they should pop in right in front of you. And then rounding out the crowd, I have the one-loss team of Alabama. And yeah, so my 6 teams were the same as the committees, just in a little bit different spots. And then moving on to the pros, where we got a kind of sore topic for some people in Henry Ruggs III, where actually this just happened for me a couple hours ago, that he came out as hitting or being in an accident last night, and there was one casualty in the accident, and it has come out that Henry Ruggs was drunk while he was driving with another passenger in the car, both of which are fine. They had a little bit of injuries, but non-fatal. And so Henry Ruggs, his sentence I've heard can be up to either 2 to 20 years in prison, from what I have heard. And yeah, he's being charged with DUI, causing death. And yeah, it's obviously he's never going to play the game of football again in the NFL or Canadian Football League or whatever. There's no way he's coming back from that. And that sucks for the LA Raiders. Well, he wasn't a big touchdown guy. He was getting a lot of receptions this year, and he only has 4 touchdowns in his 2-year career, but the young speedster was getting those receptions, getting those yards. And then next up, we have the World Series, where it's off to a good and fun start for us baseball fans out here, as we have a 3-2 series going into Game 6 today for me, yesterday for you guys, as right now it's 3-2 like I said. First 2 games were blowouts, Braves winning the first, Astros winning the second. Then we had Braves and Braves again, both in a little bit closer games. And then we had the Astros winning by 4 last night, as I think this is going to Game 7, just with how this series and how this year has gone so far. I think Astros win. I'm going to say Astros by 2 in Game 6. And then I think the Braves end up winning it by 3 in Game 7 of the World Series. And I think that Freddie Freeman, especially with being a free agent, I think he will play well in these next 2 games, along with the rest of these infields, as both teams have amazing infields, and they have been playing amazing through this postseason and World Series. So I think we have a good, fun, possibly 2 games ahead of us, and yeah, we'll decide your 2021 World Series champion. Thank you all for watching this late Halloween edition of Chad Talks Sports. As good luck to both the Astros and Braves in this World Series, and please like and subscribe. See you guys next time. Bye.